Hi, my name's Omid Daryani. I'm the Senior Brand Manager for the EverQuest franchise. Welcome to another edition of the Roundtable. With me today is Rosie Rappaport. Rosie, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Well, I'm Rosie Rappaport, and I'm the art director of EverQuest Next.
So you are in charge of?
All the art.
The art.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yes, thank you.
The cool thing to me about Rosie is that Rosie has worked on every one of the EverQuest games.
That's right.
So she has a deep history, a deep appreciation of all the races, all the characters, all that stuff. It's really cool. So today, the question that we're talking about is, what is your favorite small race? Now, this was a little bit different than our typical roundtable question. This one was more to gauge interest levels. So can you tell us a little bit about why we asked this question?
Well, we wanted to just get a poll, see how the players felt about each race, because sometimes we see a lot of posts and certain groups are more vocal than other groups. And we want to just get a straight up poll to really gauge where they're at, and that's going to factor into our decision making.
Right, because we're picking which races we want to have up front right now.
That's right.
And so normally, how do we choose the mix of races? What goes into a good race for EverQuest Next?
Well, we want to get a good variety. So we want to get different characteristics that really contrast with each other. And we also really want to think about heroic movement this time, because we want to get a lot of variety with how you move. So, for example, the Fae are going to fly. That's going to be super different from a different character like the dwarves that are going to...
Right, and we've already seen what the dwarves look like in heroic movement thanks to one of our fans.
That's right.
Posted that cool EQ video.
That was amazing.
Yeah, God, that cracked me up. And I think there was a Froglock one too.
That's right.
I got to dig that back up because it cracked me up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of stuff, we love it. We watch it over and over. But yeah, so I mean, you can really imagine, right? The Fae fly. So how does parkour work for them? It's
That's
gonna be way different. And so one of the things I think people asked a lot was, well, why aren't the dwarves on this list, for example?
Right. I saw that, and the reason was because we've already decided to have the dwarves, so we didn't need to take a poll about whether or not people wanted them.
Right, right. Yeah, you're getting them either way.
Yeah.
So I guess the follow-up question to that, something that people were asking was, does this mean that some of the races on this list aren't going to be in EverQuest Next?
No, not necessarily. It's not a vote where we cut the bottom ones at all.
Right.
There's just a lot of factors that go into that decision making, and we want to be making these characters for a long time, many years to come, and it's just all a question of how they're revealed to the players and when they're released. Because
if you look at EverQuest, right, it's coming up on its 15th year. We're planning for another 15 right now. Next year's the big anniversary, so we're really excited. We're planning this game on 10-year cycle, 20-year cycle.
Right.
Naturally, we can't put every race in at launch. We wouldn't want to. It would be confusing. So what we're doing now while we're writing the stories is trying to decide, okay, well, which races are going to make the initial cut? And then, who's coming next? And since they're writing the stories right now, this kind of question, lets us say, for example, were there any surprises for you in the preferences?
Well, yeah, I was super surprised about Fae because I haven't heard anything about Fae. I haven't gotten any tweets about Fae. I hear mostly about Rotanga, people talking about wanting that, so I thought that they were going to be the top of the poll.
And they were the bottom.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Cheese-eating Rotanga, rat people.
They got ratted out.
They crawled back into their holes and they weren't participating in the roundtable.
Right.
So that means potentially, because now we see that people like Fae so much, we may move them up in the order.
That's right.
And so this kind of thing really helps us just make those determinations of priority, things like that.
Yes.
So, is it safe to say that we'll see more questions like this in the future?
Yes, I think there's going to be a lot more of this to come.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's really valuable. I mean, getting this kind of feedback while we're designing a game is just incredibly useful. So we really appreciate it. We appreciate your time and all the comments, on our Roundtable forum as well as across the internet. So thanks to Rosie for participating with us, and thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Sony.